Hey everyone, it's Dave. Tonight we're going to do one of my favorite steak recipes. It's a classic French bistro dish called steak au poivre. What we're going to use tonight is some New York strips, but you can use sirloins, you can use filet mignon, that works really well. What you're going to need is some salt and pepper, some heavy cream. Traditionally it's done with cognac, but I'm being cheap, so we're just going to use a little brandy. For the pepper, ideally, you'd want to take a few tablespoons of black pepper and grind it up in a mortar and pestle. You don't have to do that, but it does make a little bit better texture for the pepper because you definitely want a coarse grind. So what I have here is a few tablespoons of coarse ground pepper and a few tablespoons of salt. And I'm just gonna take these steaks and coat them. So you want a really nice coating on the steaks. And then, after I'm done with that, I'm gonna put this in a pan at medium-high to high heat. What I did was I trimmed the fat end off of these New York strips and I rendered them under low heat to get the fat out. You can do that if you want. It's a nice touch, but you definitely don't have to. You can use just regular vegetable oil. And this pan's gonna be pretty hot. And I'm just gonna lay these in here. I gotta warn you, this dish can get a little smoky with all the cracked pepper, so just be prepared for that and make sure you have some ventilation. I'm going to cook these about 4 minutes each side for medium rare, and we'll check back then. Okay, I've got my steaks cooked about 4 minutes aside. If you take a look here, notice this really nice pepper crust on top of the steak. That's where the origination of the dish comes from. It's steak with a pepper sauce, au poivre. So I'm going to take these off, put them on my plates, and then obviously with the steak you want it to rest for about 5 minutes or so. And if you check out this pan here, we've got all kinds of nice brown bits of goodness there in that pan. So what we're going to do is a process called deglazing. So I'm going to add a few tablespoons of my alcohol. That was maybe a little too hot. And let's just get the brown bits off the pan. And you might want to have a fire extinguisher nearby. We do. And once that alcohol burns off, having a little fun.
Then what happens with gas?
I'm going to turn my heat down to about medium, and then I'm going to add about a half a cup of heavy cream. And my whole goal here is I want this to reduce and thicken up. It's going to make a beautiful peppercorn sauce. So you can see my cream here, it's starting to bubble on the side. You don't want to get this too hot, otherwise you'll scald the cream, and that is not very pleasant. So a good way to know is if your sauce can coat the back of a spoon. And you're about there. Also another way is if you're drawing on the pan and it leaves a little bit of cream on either side, and you're about ready. I'm just going to give this just a little bit more time to blend those flavors. There we go. That's about perfect. And cut my heat. Take my sauce. There's variations on this recipe. Some use green peppercorns, some use shallots. I just wanted to do a really basic recipe for you guys. Just show you how easy it is. Like I said, it's a classic French bistro dish. A little bit of sauce for later. Over, and then I think it goes well with a nice full-bodied red wine. Now we have the Zinfandel. So from my family to yours, enjoy!